What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse and the LCC Network for the 2022 offseason waiver wire recap show. And man, it was an exciting waiver wire. We took almost a full time. Actually, we did take the full time and more. But with me today, I've got Jameson back on the show, GM of Give Me More. Jameson, how's it going?
All right, I'm excited to be back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's like going back to college to relive the glory days.
That's right. We're back at it. It's been two weeks maybe since I recorded the last episode, which had been our mock waiver wire. I could have done one in between, but I was like, I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna just wait and do a recap show. So I was waiting for us to wrap it up. We finally did. But Jameson, your thoughts on the timeline of the waiver wire? Do you feel like it went too slow, too fast?
I was fine with it. I think everybody would agree that until it's your pick, it's going too slow, right? like when you're waiting for your pick, it doesn't matter how fast it's going too slow. But then when you're done, you're like, oh, that was a reasonable pace,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was fine. I didn't have any issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, it took us like roughly 2 weeks to finish it up, which I thought was fine. Now we don't have anything else going on, so nothing big. I mean, we do have the LCC Player Hall of Fame nomination thing starting in, what is that, 2 weeks roughly, a week and a half. Yeah, like a week and a half. So that's exciting, but that's not something that you have to get really involved for. You just type in a name. There's no thinking behind it, really, right? So it's not like you're making, off-season transactions or anything. Behind the scenes, guys, James and I will be working on getting the website updated for the draft board. Jordan has already gone in and added everyone's off-season waiver wire picks, so you should see them on your roster. We have not added them all to the waiver wire, or not to the waiver wire, listen to me, to your taxi squad yet. Some guys we did, some guys we didn't. We just, between the two of us, haven't had time to do that piece yet, but that will be done here very soon. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other news or notes that were worth going over before we get started in this.
Other than we will look forward to maybe nail down the draft location soon.
Yes, we are still waiting on the Panthers to announce whether or not that's happening. I put out a tweet and I tagged them in it, asking like if that's going to be a thing. So if you see it on Twitter, retweet it. Maybe we can get enough attention and they'll announce something one way or the other. Or just let us know. That'd be nice. But the backup plan is currently Matt's jiu-jitsu gym or dojo. Sorry for the vernacular on that. But I didn't know what to call it in the moment. Jiu-jitsu gym is not a term, I'm sure. But then the backup plan, that was Eddie's gym. Now I have no idea if Eddie's still working at the same school he did. So if that doesn't work, the backup plan to that is to everyone who's attending the draft chip in. We'll rent a pontoon. We'll do the draft in a boat, and everyone drafting remotely will still be able to do their thing remote, of course, because you'll just be doing from your own computer. So you don't need anything else for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's dive into this. Our recap. We didn't structure this to talk about all 24 teams and all 48 picks. So really, there was only 47 picks because one guy only did one pick. And believe it or not, everyone, that was actually intentional. I'll get to that later in the show. But we broke this up into categories, and I'm thinking we'll save the best for last. But the categories are best rookie / new GM waiver wire pick, or waiver wire overall, sorry, not just one individual pick. Then we have best need-based pick, and that's an individual pick. Then we have most overreached pick, best steal pick, or best value. We also have the best overall waiver wire, not just pick, but overall who did the best. And worst waiver wire overall. I'm thinking we'll save best and worst for last, maybe, Jameson, and we could start with rookie GM.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm gonna kick us off with some music playing in the background for everyone. Got to do my backyard football. It's a classic. So for me, Jameson, I'll go ahead and just start us off here. Best rookie / new GM waiver wire overall. I think Mr. 295, man, he freaking killed it. I mean, it's hard not to when you have 2 of the first 3 picks. I know. And for those that may not remember, he got Trey Lance and Blake Martinez, 2 absolute studs, or potential studs. Blake Martinez for sure. I mean, technically the 49ers still have 2 quarterbacks, so we'll see how that pans out. But Trey Lance, should be the guy, right? I mean, should be. So Mr. 295 was my favorite rookie GM waiver wire.
Okay. I agree. I think that it's easy. It is easy though when you have 2 of the first 3 picks, right? So I'm gonna kind of go a different direction here, and I'm gonna say I really like Shuttlecock's waiver wire, and not that they got like stud players.
He had like 2 late picks, and he actually came out pretty good.
Yeah, he had 2 of the last picks. And he got Marcus Davenport, I think a very solid starting defensive lineman, as long as he doesn't go on the pup. And then Cody Barton, who's supposed to be taking that Bobby Wagner role, and I think Jordan Brooks is going to be the new Bobby Wagner, right?
But so he's taking over the Jordan Brooks role for him.
Yeah, if he plays next to Jordan Brooks and he takes that role, I mean, the Seahawks are a defense we expected on the field a lot, and their middle linebackers have been very fantasy productive over many years, right? So I think there's a chance. I like that he takes a shot at a ceiling play at the back of the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Right? Versus playing for the floor. He could have got a guy like Anzalone in Detroit, where he knows he's going to get 20 points a week. But instead, he went for the ceiling and said, I'm going to get a guy that could be a very relevant starter, or I miss, and I'm okay with that. So I like that approach. I think he had a good draft at the back of the waiver wire.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. I thought he did great. Okay, so let's go to our next category here. Best need-based pick. This is an individual pick / player that was taken. For me, it's Jerry Jeudy, picked by Bedford G-Rag. I think BP did just an awesome job of getting my guy. It's literally, he picked right in front of me, dude. And I was waiting. I was like, all right, Jerry Jeudy's going to fall to me. Here he comes. And then, bam, he's gone, dude. I was so angry. I told Jameson, like, not long after that, I was like, dude, I don't even want to make this next pick. I'm pissed. Like, it just took the taste out of my mouth.
You guys have no idea how bad Patrick was tilting before that pick. He's like, if I can't get Jerry Jeudy, I'm trading this pick away. Screw this.
I even tried.
And then I'm like, no, man, don't worry. What are the chances he gets Jerry Jeudy? He made it this far. What are the odds? And then he picked Jerry Jeudy like right after I said that. and Patrick just texted me right away. I was like, I'm trading this pick away.
I tried, but no one would buy it. And, oh man, yeah. But I got Cortland Sutton. I was happy with that.
Yeah. But
I really wanted Jerry Jeudy. I mean, obviously, he's super early pick for the Broncos. They've got a good quarterback now, so I like Jerry Jeudy's wide receiver 1 there. But I know some people like Cortland Sutton over him. I think it's really just going to be a toss-up between the two of them, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Jerry Jeudy pick. I am a Cortland Sutton is the 1A. Jerry Jeudy's the 1B. But I love the Jerry Jeudy value there. That's a good pick.
Okay.
I went with Kyle Pitts as one of the best picks for need, and Will came into this needing every position, right? But to get Kyle Pitts there, I think he's going to be a high volume guy, and he has nowhere to go but up. He had one touchdown last year. What are the odds he only gets one touchdown this year, right?
Yeah.
So I'm all aboard the Kyle Pitts train this year.
Yeah.
Even in a low volume pass offense, his target share is going to be so high that I think he's going to be very productive. So I like that pick a lot.
Do you think he's a top 12 wide receiver / tight end in our league this year?
Oh man, that's tough. Like, first of all, it's just tough for a tight end to do that in our league. Like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews may have done it last year, Darren Waller maybe the year before, but that's really tough to do. I'm going to say no if I had to put money on it, but I would still feel very comfortable with Kyle Pitts. Like starting him on a weekly basis.
For those that are wondering, we only had 2 tight ends last year crack the top 24 overall, wide receivers and tight ends. Mark Andrews, he averaged 30 points a game, 30.6 to be exact, and Travis Kelce, who averaged 27 a game. Pretty wild. And that's with the new scoring, by the way. That's not using last year's scoring. So I don't think it'd be much different, honestly. And then another tight end didn't come into play until like wide receiver / tight end 27. So it's pretty hard for a tight end to do it. But I think that if there's a guy who can do it, it's definitely Kyle Pitts.
I think he's going to need much more touchdowns to do it, though.
Yes.
But the volume will be there. It's just a matter of if he gets in the end zone. If he scores 7 touchdowns this year, you'll be very happy with Kyle Pitts. If he scores just 1 touchdown again, he's going to need his volume to go way up in order to be a top 24 guy, I think. So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. We'll go to our next category. Oh, real quick, actually, let's break it up real quick. And I'm going to do a trivia question real quick for you, Jameson, in the middle of all this, all right?
Oh, I love trivia.
Okay, good. Because we're going back to 2018, the first year that the whole league did an off-season waiver wire. The year before, one conference of the league introduced it, because back then, the league was a wild, wild west. Let me tell you, we had 2 separate conferences that were almost 2 separate leagues that competed for the Critter Cup, right? So think of it as more of an AFL, NFL type deal, whereas now it's more of an AFC, NFC thing. But anyways, both conferences finally started doing it this year. So we had 2 conferences, right, Jameson? Can you guess the number 1 waiver wire pick in both conferences?
Oh my God! In 2018.
Yeah.
Oh God, Patrick, this is like asking me what I had for breakfast 5 weeks ago. I haven't. I mean, can you at least tell me the position?
All right. For the Elite 12, which is the conference you and I were in, it was a wide receiver. And for the Top Shotters conference, which was the other conference that we had, theirs was also a wide receiver.
Man, 2018. So this would have been a guy who underperformed or was injured the year before.
Yep.
To be on the waiver wire. Or he was new and hadn't really hit the scene yet. So this would have been the 2017 season. Ah, man. This is freaking tough, dude. I mean, this is after like the Tyreek Hill breakout. That was like 2015. So this is after that. But this is before the Chris Godwin breakout.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of who would have been like the guy during that time. Oh, man. This is really hard. 2018?
You mean to give you another hint?
Yeah, give me another hint.
Okay, so the person who had the first pick, waiver wire pick, in the Top Shotters Conference was primetime player / Daquan, for those who remember. He was in the league last year and every year before that. And then myself in the Elite 12.
Yourself in the Elite 12?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you get Tyler Lockett that year?
Nope.
I don't know.
Not with that pick, at least. I don't know. Maybe I did later, but not that pick.
I remember that you picked Tyler Lockett at some point. I have no clue. This is way too broad.
Here it is. I got T.Y. Hilton with the first waiver wire pick, and Daquan got Stephon Diggs.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs was on the waiver wire?
Yeah.
That's crazy to think back that he would have been a waiver wire
I
target.
know, right? You know,
Wow.
this is gonna blow your mind, and I don't even. To this day, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? With the second waiver wire pick in the Top Shot of this conference, Matt Legg, GM of Jiu-Jitsu Jesus, picked Artie Burns.
The cornerback from Pittsburgh?
Yes, dude.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, you could tell we didn't know what we were doing back then.
And then for us, it was Zachers, picked by Beastman Park.
Man. I would bet a lot of money that T.Y. Hilton pick didn't work out for you that year. I can't remember the last time T.Y. Hilton was fantasy relevant. Maybe it did. That was a while back.
I'll let you know right now. He was wide receiver / tight end 17, averaged 24.7 points per game. He was pretty good.
Wow, so it's pretty good.
He was hurt 2 weeks, so that's the only reason he didn't finish higher.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think, did Pat Mahomes and Andrew Luck go in that waiver wire?
Let me check.
I think that was your Tyler got Pat Mahomes on the waiver wire, if I'm not mistaken.
So you got Demaryius Thomas, by the way.
Oh, God, I really screwed that up, didn't I?
And LaMarcus Joyner. Where was your other pick?
God. My waiver wire picks have mostly been busts, except for the Myles Garrett pick a couple years ago.
Who were you asking me about?
Tyler. Did Tyler get Pat Mahomes that year?
He got Alshon Jeffrey and Pat Mahomes. Yep. He got Pat Mahomes in the later part of the second round, or kind of mid.
That was the year he blew up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. T.Y. Hilton, the first overall pick on the waiver wire. Goodness gracious.
By the way, for those that don't know, we had 4 rounds of the waiver wire. It was a 4-round event that went from July 6th all the way, or at least it was scheduled to go to July 30th. It was supposed to last a full month, basically. It was kind of cool, honestly, but it took basically a full month. I liked it because it was every day, every week, there was more and more players getting taken, and it was different era.
Different era, yeah.
Right. Well, let's get back on topic. We went down the rabbit hole far enough. So biggest reach in the waiver wire for me, it's got to be Jameis Winston going to Springfield Adams. Ian, he's new to the league. He's, I think we're gonna look back and probably say it's a rookie mistake. Maybe I'm wrong. But his backup to that was Darren Waller, which I actually think would have been a nice pick. But he went Jameis Winston, and that was the first round of the waiver wire. I feel like he's a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he has a lot of picks in the second round though. I felt like he could have went quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, same.
But maybe he's super high on Winston this year. I feel like for that to be your only pick, that was probably a mistake. To only go Jameis Winston. But I'm gonna say I think it was Marcus May by Hunter of Champions. I know I had him on my list after the season to be like, hey, this is a guy that I really want. But after they signed Tyrann Mathieu, and we're really unsure about his injury, as far as Marcus May's injury, it's really unclear what he's going to be. He could be the starting free safety, the starting strong safety, the backup free safety, the backup strong safety. I've seen multiple depth charts say multiple things. So I feel at pick 13, that was probably a reach. I feel like he probably would have went into the second round if he even got picked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like he could have grabbed. There were guys there, a bunch of receivers there, a couple running backs there. There were still some linebackers and a lot of defensive linemen there. So I don't know. I feel like it was kind of early for him.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little early. I felt like Marcus May. I don't know if I valued him that much. I think he's gonna have good weeks, and I think he's very usable. I think he's worth rostering. It's probably could have got him a little bit later if he wanted to.
Yeah, and I want to preface this by saying, you and I don't want anyone to feel bad. Us by saying, hey, this wasn't the best pick. It's just our opinion, right? Like, We have
Right.
0 LCC titles between the two of us. So,
Exactly.
so,
How many playoff
so
wins do we have between the two of us? Like 4, 5?
maybe 5, and I got 3 of them last year. So, you know, how much do we know, right? So these are just our really early training camp hasn't even started yet, right?
Yeah,
So these
yeah.
are just our kind of early predictions, but yeah.
Right. Okay, so our next category here, biggest steal or best valued waiver wire pick. And I was actually torn between 2 different people. For me, I had to go with Jonathan Greenard getting taken up by Big Oss at Sandstorm Troopers. The other one I was thinking about was Ernest Jones for his body count. I really wanted him to just get unpicked in the waiver wire and fall in the draft pool. I was really crossing my fingers, but Zach jumped on him, and I don't blame him. That was a hell of a pick. But I went Greenard because I really felt like he was a first-round value, whereas I felt like Ernest Jones, if he was going to go, it was going to be the second round of the waiver wire, and that's how it worked out.
Yeah, no, I love Jonathan Greenard. You're definitely much higher on him than I am. But because they did add a defensive lineman from Seattle and on the team, but I like him a lot. I think that was great value. Big Oss really nailed it there. I think he was a pick for need too, which is really good to add there. As far as value goes, I mean, when I look into the early to late second, maybe. I mean, there are a couple of guys that stand out to me. But as you get into the late second, I really like Khalil Mack by Jordan. Feels a need. This is a guy who's been a proven starter veteran. He goes to LA, playing next to Joey Bosa. If he's healthy, I just don't know how he isn't productive. You know what I mean? So to see him go into the mid to late second, really kind of toward the late second, I think Jordan got great value there. Jordan really nailed it with J.K. Dobbins and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I agree. Khalil Mack, I was kind of shocked that he fell that far. I was, and the fact that Cody preferred him over Khalil Mack is even more surprising to me.
You mean preferred Von Miller over Khalil Mack?
Yeah. Sorry, what did I say?
You just said him, preferred him
Oh, so
over Khalil Mack.
I was looking at the name and somehow I thought I was saying it.
No. I was just clarifying for you.
Yeah,
I mean, I like them both, but I agree. I think Khalil Mack probably has a higher ceiling. Just because Von Miller, I haven't seen much from him the last year or two, but I think they're both fine. But I just like the value that Jordan got there, mid to late second.
That's good. Okay. Now let's go to, before we get to best overall, let's go to our worst waiver wire in our opinions. For me, I kind of hinted at this earlier. Springfield Adams, just not. He got one player, and it was Jameis Winston of all players. I really didn't like it, and I actually texted Ian, and I was like, "Hey man, like you got an hour to get this pick in." Plus, I tagged him in Discord, and he texted me back pretty quick within 10-15 minutes, and was like, "Hey, I think I'm just gonna skip this pick and get players in the draft." And I was like, "Are you sure about that? This is a free player. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no benefit of not getting anyone." And he never replied, so I was like, "All right, well, whatever floats your boat, I guess." But I would have taken someone at least.
Yeah, it's a rookie, man. We've seen a lot of rookies make mistakes. They'll figure it out. They'll learn. It just takes them to practice. I agree, though. I don't think that's the best move, but I think I was totally confused by the Myles Gaskin pick by Will. So I gave Will props for Kyle Pitts. Now I have to say, Will, what the hell with Myles Gaskin? Like, on most depth charts I've seen, he's listed as the 4th running back. And Chase Edmonds wasn't even picked. I think he was waiver wire eligible, was he not?
He was, yeah.
Chase Edmonds?
I can't believe
he's the starter in Miami. Raheem Mostert is, I don't know, 2nd string, 3rd string. Sony Michel was picked. Myles Gaskin, I don't get it.
It's crazy, dude. We had 2
unless he's somehow the starter, then it would be a great pick.
Chase Edmonds is still available.
And neither one of them were Chase Edmonds. I mean, there must be something someone knows I don't know, but Miles Gaskin to me, I don't even know if he should have been drafted, much less picked on the waiver wire. Like, that was a weird, especially with a team that has all these needs. I mean, there were guys like Tony Pollard was available if you're going to go for a running back. I mean, guys like there were other guys available. That, I don't know. It was a weird pick.
Yeah, yeah, it was strange. Um, well,
And you were high on Miles Gaskin last year,
I was, I was,
right?
but like he just didn't. He had the opportunity to win over the coaching staff and Miami as a whole, and he obviously didn't. And so now it's like, good lord, how many running backs can he fit in that backfield? But they've got him in Miami. I mean, they got a ton of depth. So I don't know if they'll
And not to
ever
mention they've got the
rebuild
offensive
that.
coordinator.
Yeah,
They've got the OC from San Francisco. So I mean, sure they could deploy 4 running backs, but which one's going to be fantasy relevant? Is it going to be the hot hand? Is it going to be the starter? Either way, I doubt that's Miles Gaskin. I doubt he's ever going to be the starter or the hot hand. So it just seems like you'll probably just dump him in week 1. You know.
yeah, I agree. Okay, it has led us to this moment, ladies and gentlemen. The number one best overall waiver wire, not waiver wire pick, but overall, like which team performed the best in the waiver wire. Let's let's do this thing. So for me, it's without a doubt. And don't get me wrong, it's because they had an early pick, and that's the reason. I mean, this is half of what makes waiver wire just so damn good. But the Spurs, my brother Cameron, got Christian Jackson McCaffrey, the one of a lot of people are arguing he's the RB1 this year. Some people not so much. I'm a little more like I don't think he's the RB1, but I do think he's a top 12 guy if he's healthy. Um, I yeah, I mean he got Christian McCaffrey, which like I said is a big part of it. But on top of that, what he does and goes and gets Devontae Smith, who I like Devontae Smith a lot. I actually had him as a gem kind of it in the offensive waiver wire rankings. I really felt like Devontae Smith was kind of a steal that late if you were looking for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree that Christian McCaffrey easily makes Cameron one of the best waiver wire teams because I mean McCaffrey's worth like 4 dudes if he's healthy,
Yeah. Plus, he's got Derrick
like,
Henry.
but the thing is he's got to play more than 3 games. You know, like if he's healthy, he's the RB1 or 2, like no doubt in my mind, RB1 or 2. But I mean he's played like 7 games in 2 years, so he's really got to prove that he can be on the field, right? If he does, he'll be awesome, right? No doubt. I'm out on Devonta Smith though. I do not think
Hmm.
Philadelphia can support 2 fantasy studs. I just don't believe it. I think Jalen Hurts does a lot on the ground, and that's awesome. He's great for fantasy. He's great for that team. I don't think he's going to support AJ Brown and Devonta Smith as anything more than like a top like a wide receiver like 23 or 24, which is okay, right? Like there's 24 teams in this league, so he'll be on a team somewhere. So it's not bad, but he isn't going to be winning you weeks for sure. So, but he should be rostered. So I mean, Cameron didn't make a mistake there. But I'm just not huge. I'm just not a huge Devonta Smith fan this year.
Yeah,
I'm down on him.
I can see why. I see the argument for it. But who's your number one? Who's your which team performed the best?
Oh man, this is going to be a little bit maybe like surprising, but I loved the value. I liked that this guy kind of went under the radar for people. It's definitely players that I had been looking at, so maybe I'm a little bit biased there. It's also a division team in my division, so it's tough to like say this, but I liked Alex's waiver wire. I think it was very. He didn't move. He didn't trade. He's like he just let what fall to him. He played for need, but he also played for ceiling. You know, he went and got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker in Cleveland. Cleveland traded away Mac Wilson. He seems like he'll be the guy there entering year 2. That's exciting. He looked very good in his rookie season. And then he got Rashad Bateman, in the second round. So another pick for need. Marquise Brown is gone. Rashad Bateman's the number one, next to Mark Andrews, obviously. So even if the volume's not high, just like in Atlanta, the target share should be high, which will help Rashad Bateman be fantasy relevant. So, I mean, if he got Marquise Brown, let's say he performs like Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown was a top 20 something receiver, 21 receiver last year, and then he got JOK. I think it's very, very solid value, and I really like what he did to make his team better.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some good value picks. I'm not big on the way you're like Devonta Smith. I'm just not big on Rashad Bateman, just because the fact that Lamar Jackson is more like, I mean, he makes his money on the run game, right? I just don't know like what kind of wide receiver one quality we'll get in Baltimore, kind of the same way in Philadelphia.
I think the reason, and it does sound like a similar argument on the face of it, I just think that the target share is going to be much higher for Bateman than it will be for Smith. Now, if the volume in Philadelphia is higher than Baltimore by a good bit, then obviously I guess that would kind of balance out. But I just don't know if that's going to be the case. But we'll see. I like having a guy who doesn't have a lot in his way, um, other than Mark Andrews, right? But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I think the target volume is going to be higher for Bateman versus Smith, and I think that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, I can see.
But we'll see what Philly does. If the Philly pass volume goes way up, then obviously that makes Devonta Smith a lot more interesting.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's all we got, guys. Jameson, anything you want to add before we hop off?
I don't think so, man. I think the waiver wire went awesome. I think most everyone did really well to make their team better. I saw some guys go for handcuffs. Were you interested about that at all?
What
Like
was that?
Alexander Madison went and back. Some guys went for handcuffs.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they locked up handcuffs on the
No,
waiver wire.
for some guys it was smart. Like my dad getting Rashad Penny, I told him I thought it was a good move. I think he probably could have got him in the second round of the waiver wire, potentially, maybe. But still, I mean, Penny really could be the RB1 in Seattle for the first half of the year, if not longer. So I thought it was
I think he will
solid.
be. So I think he will be. So I don't have any issue with that pick. I don't have any issue with the Madison pick either. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen handcuffs go in the past. So just an interesting note there. That's all.
Cool. All right. We'll catch you guys in our next podcast. Not too much longer before we start getting our regular season shows off the ground between LCC After Dark and LCC Game Day. We're super excited about both of those. One of them returning, one of them brand new. But we will catch you guys next week. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great weekend. Peace.